Hi everyone, Az here from HeelvsBabyface's. We are, a day and a half, here in the UK at least, away from a new year. And what game is going into 2020 with dignity, pride, honour? Well, it's not Anthem. That's kind of going and kicking and screaming like a little baby. In actual fact, Amazon UK have desperately tried to get rid of their stocks of the product. So much so that not only are they selling it for next to nothing, but if you want, you can kind of get it for free. Oopsies. Anthem, of course, is one of these games that falls under that AAA bracket. And I don't have to tell you all the problems that the game's had. There are a ton of videos. But it did come out with the pretensions that it was going to be a blockbuster title. It sold, well, very well in a bubble. About 3.5 million units in the first 8 or so weeks. But for the expectations that EA had, no, just over half. They wanted 6 million units sold by the end of March of 2019, a number they couldn't even come close to. But the worst thing was, of course, that by time March had rolled around, the end of it, the game had been out for approximately 5 or 6 weeks, and everyone could see what an utter mess it was. That's my sister making faces, by the way. Ain't she just a pretty gal? As I bask in the beautiful fields of Shropshire on holiday, so excuse if the audio quality is a little bit below par, but you have to ask yourself, what is a AAA game in current year? Once upon a time, AAA used to stand for quality. It used to stand for a big budget title that was going to cost you a pretty penny, but you'd get value for money and an excellent product. Nowadays, it doesn't mean any of that at all. It simply means that it's been made by one of the bigger companies, Activision, EA, Ubisoft, that sort of thing, or has a big name behind it with Death Stranding and Hideo Kojima, for instance. But in terms of quality, nah, that doesn't mean anything anymore. But it still means, can we have all of your money? And then, of course, Shreya for Kotaku did that article just a few weeks ago. Oh, Anthem Next is a-coming. Oh, Anthem 2.0s are coming. When a simple fact of the matter is, if any of those are anywhere near completion now, then it's just going to be as big a mess as it was before. They simply haven't had the direction to compose anything of any worth whatsoever. And so that was just a pathetic attempt to generate hype, to try and keep a game in the public interest that simply has no interest. We've heard about the lack of content. We've heard about the bugs. We've heard about the production staff leaving hand over fist, making it another rudderless game. But basically,
it's a bit shy.
It's a bit shite. Oh, hi, 24 hours later, and we're back in proper place in country, up north, not down south where I was with all those southern can't say that word anymore. No, naughty. But yes, look, just let's be honest, it's a little bit shite. I mean, what can you say about it? Looks pretty. You can pretend you're Iron Man for a bit until your jets overheat. Da-da. And come on, you've got to bear in mind that this is EA's and BioWare's attempt at what? A rival to Destiny? Their first sort of push into that live service business. Even though, of course, the most successful game by a country mile this year was a single-player game. But don't worry about that. Remember, you just make up a narrative that suits trying to get as much money from people as possible. But if the 10 months, at the end of November of this year, we got the Black Friday deals, which go on for 2 weeks or so. I don't know. Anyway, that gave Amazon UK an excuse to reduce Anthem down to a £5. Get it out the door, please. £5, yours, boosh, done. Now, adjust the currency accordingly where you live. But when you think that this was meant to be the AAA offering, and 10 months later it's been thrown away for a $5, that in itself would be the punchline. Oh no, it gets better. You see, the Black Friday deal, inverted commas, parentheses, 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 stayed. It never went away once it was applied. The price of Anthem here in the UK became £5, a tenth of what they were actually asking for it at launch just 10 months earlier. Oh my goodness me. But that in itself still, by the looks of it, couldn't shift units off of the shelf. Oh lordy. Because come Christmas time, Anthem gets reduced further by another £1, down to £3.99. And it doesn't say, like some of the other offerings do, that it's a limited deal. This now seems to be the actual price of Anthem. And you can believe that. And why is that? Because you just have to look at other games, and what do we see? Oh, hello! You can get Rage 2 and Anthem for free. You can get Plants vs. Zombies and Anthem for free. In actual fact, if you were to look at virtually any game in Anthem right now, Modern Warfare, Fallen Jedi Order, FIFA, it doesn't matter. You just get Anthem. The Outer Worlds even. Anthem gets chucked in free of charge. They are desperate to unload their stocks of this god-awful game. Even Fallout 76, which is another mitigated disaster of a video game, but that released 2018, so we won't couple it in this one. That still can sell for £10 to £15 even today. And it seems to have, for some bizarre reason, which I'll never understand, at least some sort of community surrounding it. Whereas Anthem doesn't. It doesn't seem to have anything going for it whatsoever. It doesn't seem to have a strong community. It doesn't seem to have a strong team working on it. It definitely doesn't have strong leadership. We understand that because they keep leaving. And this game was in development for 6.5 years. So even though it can sell 3.5 plus units in that time, you just have to look at its fall from grace, which I would argue is even more spectacular than Fallout 76's was. And the big question is, realistically, where is this game going to go? Legitimately, where is it going to go? I know that I mentioned earlier in the video about Schreier with his Kotaku article where he was talking about, oh, don't give up on Anthem, there are big plans, oh, Anthem 2.0s are coming, oh, Anthem Next is coming. And legitimately, that is just nonsense. Because they have to get the fundamentals of a game right, and this game has to change considerably. They can't even keep a team together. So let's say if they do decide to stick with this game and revamp it and try to make something of it, we are talking years away. 2-3 years at least away. If they want to do a No Man's Sky, which some people want to herald as a story of a turnaround, it's not. It's a mitigated disaster. Hello Games conned tons of people into purchasing their product, and then once they got all the money and the product wasn't anything like they said it was, then used that money to create the game that they wanted for a fraction of the people who decided to stick around. And that is considered success? I don't think so. It was a scam. This game here, this was a game that was pushed out the door simply to meet an EA quota. A game that was absolutely mismanaged from the onset. A game that even 3-4 years down the production line had no direction at all. And then when it came out, all the disaster, all the fluff, all the absolute haphazard handling of this title was laid bare for everyone to see. So with all of that said, it's pretty obvious that Anthem gets my worst game of 2019. But the thing is, Anthem's just not a bad game. It's a joke. The whole process surrounding it is a joke. Ladies and gentlemen, AAA in current year. Laughable drivel. So, I'm going to get ready for tonight because I'm going to be streaming, seeing in the new year, the new decade, with a few bottles to keep me company. Hope you stop by later on when I eventually start streaming. And I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. Happy New Year to everyone, no matter where you are. And I'll be back in the next decade. True. You take care. Bye for now.